Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about word order. But before we start with our presentation, visit the following website and start with the quiz. You must set the timer. Then, place the words in the correct order. Complete as many sentences as you can until the time is over. When you finish, take a screenshot and upload it in a Word file that you must send to the teacher. And now we are going to start with our presentation. The order of words in an English sentence is especially important. A change in word order often results in a change of meaning. Therefore, today we are going to learn about word order in different types of sentences. First of all, we are going to talk about word order in positive sentences. A positive sentence usually contains at least three elements, which are subject, verb, and object. And here we have an example. I speak English. The subject I, the verb speak, and the object English. Positive sentences can also contain place and time, which can be interchangeable, referring to their place in the sentence. Besides that, you can place time and place in front of the sentence if you want to. And here we have three examples. The first one, I will dance with you at the party next Saturday. First, we have the place, and then we have the time. Then we have the next example. I will dance with you next Saturday at the party. First, we have the time, and then we have the place. And the third example, next Saturday at the party, I will dance with you. At the beginning of the sentence, we have the time, and then we have the place. Remember, if you place either the place or the time at the beginning of the sentence, you must add a comma after it. And now we are going to talk about word order in negative sentences. The word order for this type of sentence is the same as in the positive sentences. However, when we want to produce a negative sentence, we must add an auxiliary verb. Here we have an example. Andrea will not tell you the story at the party next Saturday. We have the subject, which is Andrea. We have the auxiliary verb, which is will. We have the verb tell. We have an indirect object, which is you. The story is the direct object. At the party is the place. And we have the time, which is next Saturday. And now we are going to start with practice number 1. You can do this practice in the same Word file that you had for the quiz that we did at the beginning. And you have to arrange the words to make negative or positive sentences. You can do 5 and 5 if you want to, but in 5 of these sentences, you have to place the time at the beginning of the sentence. And in the other 5 sentences, you have to place the time at the end of the sentence. Now we are going to talk about word order in subordinate clauses. The word order for this type of sentences is the same as in positive sentences. However, when we add a conjunction, we usually place them between the two clauses. Here we have an example. You have the first clause, which is, I will tell you the story at the party. Then we have the conjunction because, and then we have the other clause. I do not have time now. I will tell you the story at the party because I do not have time now. Remember, if a subordinate clause comes before the clause it is attached to, then it should be followed by a comma. You do not need a comma before a subordinate clause if it follows the main clause.
Now it's time to do practice number 2. Complete the sentences with the words in the brackets. Place time expressions at the end of the sentences and underline the independent clause once and the dependent clause twice. Now let's take a look at word order in questions. In questions, the word order subject, verb, object is the same as in positive sentences. The only thing that is different is that you usually have to put the auxiliary verb or the main verb be before the subject. For example, what would you like to tell me? Did you have a party at home yesterday? When were you here? Remember, you do not use an auxiliary verb if you ask for the subject. In this case, the interrogative simply takes the place of the subject. For example, who asked you? Word order in passive and active voice. Transferring a sentence from active into passive voice and vice versa changes word order and verbs in the following way. For example, the greedy gray wolf, which is the subject, ate, which is the verb, the poor lamb, which is the object. And it changes into the poor lamb, which is the object, was eaten, verb, by the greedy gray wolf, which is the subject. Position of adverbs. Adverbs of manner. These adverbs are put behind the direct object or behind the verb if there is no direct object. For example, he drove the car carefully. He drove carefully. Adverbs of place. Like adverbs of manner, these adverbs are put behind the direct object or the verb. For example, I did not see him here. He stayed behind. Adverbs of time. Adverbs of time are usually put at the end of the sentence. However, if you do not want to put emphasis on the time, you can also put the adverb of time at the beginning of the sentence. For example, I will do my homework tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will do my homework. Adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency are put directly before the main verb. If be is the main verb and there is no auxiliary verb, adverbs of frequency are put behind be. For example, I often go swimming in the evening. We are usually here during summer. They will never be back to school. Now it's time for practice number 3. Decide where to place the time expression. In some cases, both options are correct. Thank you for watching and paying attention. Goodbye.